Okay. Kindmay MALDITOF mass spectrometer is a microbead analysis system, and MISMER, as you see here, MISMER is our mod name. And this PowerPoint includes 4 parts. And the first part is MALDITOF introduction, and it will show us what is the MALDITOF mass spectrometer and why we need it. And the second part is Kindmay MALDITOF. And in this part, it will show us the highlight of Kindmay MALDITOF. And the third part is expanded solution, because we Kindmay not only provide the instrument MALDITOF, but also we can provide complete solution. And I will show details later. And the last part is comparison with our competitors like bioMerial and Book. So now let's go to the first part, why we need MALDITOF. So now let's have a look at the challenge of traditional clinic microbead identification. And here I make a summary here. The first one is traditional method cannot meet the clinic requirement, because for clinic method always take a long time, so it cannot provide timely treatment suggestion. And for some microorganisms, they will hard to identify by the traditional method. And second is it has a high requirement for the lab technician. Most of the operation is manually, not automatically. So the workload is large, and it also has a high experience requirement for the lab technician. The last one is low cost performance, expensive reagent, but low clinic charge. For example, in China, for traditional method, one test cost is around $9, but the clinic charge from the patient is only around $11. So for clinic microbead identification, and the expectation for a fast, accurate, cost-effective, and easy-to-use method is urgent. So this is the status of clinic microbead identification, and MALDITOF can fully meet this requirement. As you see here, MALDITOF, the full name of MALDITOF is a matrix-assisted laser desorption ionization time of flight. As you see here, the name is very long and complex. Simply speaking, MALDITOF mass spectrometer is automatic microbead analysis system. It can be used to identify various microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, for example, gram positive bacteria, gram negative bacteria, mycobacteria, yeast fungi, filamentous fungi. What's more, it can be used to identify virus like COVID-19. So this is workflow of MALDITOF. It includes the sample capture, sample preparation, sample sorting, and identification. The first step is sample capture. It is similar as a traditional method, but it will take less time. For example, for the traditional method, it will take several days, but for MALDITOF, it will take 2 or 3 days. It will take less time. So second step is the sample preparation. It is much easier than the traditional method. If you use a traditional method, sample preparation will take several hours. But for MALDITOF, it will take only several minutes. And the third part is sporting sample. We need to either because after the sample preparation, we need to add the sample solution and the matrix solution together to the target plate. This is a target plate. And matrix solution is very important for the identification. And then we will put, after the sample sporting, we will put this target into the MALDITOF, and then it will automatically identify. And after 20 minutes, you can get the result. Actually, this 20 minutes is for 96 sample test. For one sample, we will only take 12 seconds. So you can see that the identification of MALDITOF is very fast. It can greatly reduce the time along time. So MALDITOF is rapid, high throughput, efficient, and easy to use microarray analysis method. It can greatly meet clinic identification requirement. Just now, it shows us the MALDITOF identification workflow. And this page is work principle. Actually, for the work principle of MALDITOF is a little complex, and for the details, you can Google it from the internet. And here, I will only simply explain the MALDITOF work principle. So as we know, different microorganism has a different ribosome protein. So we can identify a microorganism according to the unique ribosome protein. The whole work principle is similar as a fingerprint recognition. The first step, we need to set up a fingerprint database, and we can identify a known microorganism to generate mass spectrometer of ribosome protein. It is similar as fingerprint information. And then we can store this information in the database. Wow. So it seems the network is not stable. Sorry.
No, Luis, we can hear you clearly. It's okay. There's no. It's very fine.
Oh, very fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I will continue. Yes. Okay. So let's see that. Okay, I will start again. And as we know, so for the different microorganism has a different ribosome protein. So we can identify microorganism according to this information, ribosome protein information. And the work principle is similar to fingerprint recognition. So first, we need to set up a database or fingerprint database, and we can identify some known microorganism. And to generate mass spectrometer, mass spectrum of ribosome protein, and because this information is similar to fingerprint information, and then we can store this information to the database. So it is a microorganism database. Then if we need to identify an unknown microorganism, we can use MALDITOF mass spectrometer to generate new mass spectrum, and then MALDITOF will search this spectrum through the database, through the microorganism database. If it is matched, the database identification will be success. So from the work principle, we can see that the microorganism database is very important for MALDITOF. The bigger the database is, the more unknown microorganism can be identified. And for the microorganism database, I will show you more details later. So this is a simple explanation for the work principle of MALDITOF. So now we know that MALDITOF is a very useful tool for clinic microorganism identification. As you see, in the right table is the most common clinic bacteria, but actually for MALDITOF, it it is not only applied for the clinic, but also for the food quality control, environment monitoring, like water monitoring. So MALDITOF has a very wide range of application. As long as the area requires microbe identification, MALDITOF is a suitable choice. So just now I have shown you why we need MALDITOF mass spectrometer. Now in this chapter, I will show you why I recommend Kindmay MALDITOF. This is our MALDITOF mass spectrometer, and MASMER is our mod name. And MASMER MALDITOF mass spectrometer is independent research and developed by Kindmay. And this is the physical structure of Kindmay MALDITOF. It is a benchtop design. Around the weight is around 100 kilogram, and the hardware includes 4 parts: sampling chamber, ion source, flight tube, and ion detector. And the sample chamber is used to place the sample. We can put the target here. And the ion source sample molecule will be ionized into sample ions. And the flight tube, different sample ions will be separated and detected by the ion detector, and then generate mass spectrum. Finally, after the software analysis, you can get identification result. So this is a structure of MALDITOF, physical structure. For Kindmay MALDITOF mass spectrometer has many highlights, and I will show it from 4 aspects: hardware, database, software, and consumables. So the first part is hardware. Long life laser. As we know, laser is a very key component of MALDITOF, and our laser emission time is more than 19 millions. Simply speaking, the lifetime of our laser is up to 7 years. Vacuum flight tube. We know MALDITOF is a precise instrument. It is sensitive for the ambient temperature, and our MALDITOF mass spectrometer adopt temperature composition technology, so it can support wider range of ambient temperature. The change of ambient temperature will not affect MALDITOF mass spectrometer. And patent ion deflection technology. Before the sample identification, we know that all the sample molecule will be ionized, but during this ionization, some useless ions will be generated. But these useless ions are not only useless, but also affect the normal ions. It means it will affect the identification result. So our system, our MALDITOF, use a patent ion deflection technology to remove these useless ions to reduce the interference. So it can improve identification accuracy, and this technology can also extend the ion detector life. So for our MALDITOF, the lifetime of ion detector is up to 10 years. Fast and efficient identification. Our MALDITOF can support 96 samples in the same time, and the time test time is very fast, only take 20 minutes for 96 samples, and for one sample, it only take 12 seconds. So it's very fast. And it is fast standing, faster standby processing. So it can save the waiting time. So
excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ammar is trying to join, but he need approval from the admin.
Oh, sorry.
Oh. My colleague Ammar is trying to join, but he needs your approval to accept him.
Yeah. So now it's okay. Because I
think Mr. Bugari is in.
Ammar.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning.
Good morning, Ammar.
Good morning,
Ammar. We can hear you now.
Good morning, all. How are you guys doing?
Fine.
Good.
Okay,
you
can continue.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So faster standby processing, so you can save the waiting time. And this is the hardware. And this is a microorganism database. As we know, it is a key component of MALDITOF. And the bigger the database is, the more unknown microorganism can be identified. And for our database, it is abundant. It already includes 3,500 species and 5,000 strains of bacteria and fungi. And in China, we cooperate with top 32 hospitals for database building and verification. So our database is continuous expanding. And what's more, our database is open, not closed system. So our customer can build database, microorganism database by themselves. So it is very useful for the customer. And because the database is very important, so the verification is also very important, very essential, because we cooperate with 32 hospital labs and the research institute. So during the past years, our microorganism database has been verified by more than 300,000 samples. And this is the list of top 32 hospitals that cooperate with Kindmay for microorganism database during building and verification.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Lewis, can you get the previous slide, please? Yeah, for the 3,500 species for bacteria, including aerobic and anaerobic, right?
Yes.
Okay, what about the yeast strains?
Yeah. For the yeast, it's already included, yes.
Included in the database, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, so during the run, we can detect all over the bacteria, fungi, and yeast together, right? Okay.
Yeah, I want to interrupt a little bit. Sorry, because for the question from the Mohammed, yes, we have the 3,500 species and the 5,000 strains in our database, and now because it's not including all the bacteria, we want to develop more bacteria in our database. That's why we want to put one unit in Saudi Arabia to collect the information as well, because some bacteria cannot be found in China, because now so far this database is created in China, but some bacteria like MAS is difficult to find in China. That's why
You mean
we want to set
yeah,
up
you
the
mean
one
there is no
unit.
instrument in the Middle East, right? Yet?
Yes.
Okay, so you're developing your database regarding the regions.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So,
Okay.
so in your database now, there is no yeast strains, right? Or there is yeast strain?
Yeah, actually, for the yeast strains, our database already includes some of them, yes, but not all of them. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So this is software. For software is also a very important component of MALDITOF. And Kindmay has a professional software development team. All the software is developed by ourselves. And these are our software user interface. Our software use intelligent algorithm to efficiently and accurately collect, analyze data, and can protect hardware effectively. And the user interface is friendly and easy to use. What's more, Kindmay pay great attention to the customer's user experience, so we can optimize the software functionality according to the customer's requirement. And for IoT product, I think most of the customer we're very concerned about the consumables. And for MALDITOF, the consumables includes two parts: the target, basically a target plate, and the reagent. The target plate is used to place sample during identification, and Kindmay target plate is reusable, not disposable. So it is very cost effective because some manufacturer only provide a disposable target plate. And for reagent, and Kindmay can provide various of reagent, the reagent for the bacteria, for the fungi, for the blood culture. And these reagents are ready to use and can be stored and transported at a room temperature. And what's more, all the reagents are compatible with other manufacturers' MALDITOF system like Brook, like Biomario. It's no problem. And besides the bacteria and fungi in next phase, our MALDITOF can support to identify the virus. And what's more, MALDITOF can identify a different mutation of virus like COVID-19. MALDITOF can distinguish Delta or Omicron. But as you know, for PCR cannot do that. PCR only tell you the result is positive or negative. So for the virus identification, in the next phase, our MALDITOF can support it. Now it's not available.
Excuse me, Lewis.
Okay.
What kind of mass spectral instrument are compatible with your kits?
Sorry?
That you mentioned in the previous slide that your kit are compatible with other mass spectral instrument, right?
Oh, yeah. Biomario and the Brook.
What are the mass spectral systems or instruments that are compatible with your kits?
Like let me add this one. For this, we are compatible for some mainstream players, such like Biomaria from France and the Bruker from Germany, mainly.
Yeah, you are compatible with Biomario, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Biomario we take.
Okay.
Yes.
And the interpretation too with their software.
Yeah, the software is come from the themselves. But now we are talking about the reagent.
Yeah, I know. And the interpretation, the interpretation for their software are compatible with your strain database, right?
No. So for the software and the database is different. It's a different thing. Yes, because for the different manufacturers, for software and the base is closed. Yeah, but the reagent for the reagent, our reagent can be used in BioVario or Brook. It's no problem because we will test in China. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let
So
me
just
add
I will
something
order
because if
just
Brookers or bioMérieux, if they have the same bacteria testing, yeah, they can use our reagent.
yeah, my question
Yeah.
was that only is because your reagent are compatible with a specific software, of course, because due to the database, right? Okay, so
If
when I
we,
use the bioMérieux or Broker instrument, I will use your database and software.
Yeah.
for this one, no, because for the database, it's a closed system.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for our answer is our reagent can be compatible to the bioMérieux's machine if they have the same bacteria and the fungi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we have tried this in China
Mm-hmm.
because for some hospital they have a bioMérieux machine and they have a Bruker's machine, and of course they come earlier, and then they buy the Kindmay's MALDITOF, so that the hospital have the same question like you, because if they buy Kindmay's, they don't want to throw away the Bruker's machine. So that's why we make our reagent is compatible to the mainstream player in the market.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So now let's have a look at the microorganism identification case in India. Last year, mucormycosis suddenly okay, sorry. Last year, mucormycosis suddenly emerged in India. It is also called as black fungi, and this infection is very rare and horrible, and death rate is up to 50%. And for mucormycosis, there are 12 species of fungi related to mucor. And for these different fungi, clinic medicine is different. So it is essential to identify different species of mucor. And there are two main identification methods for mucormycosis: PCR test and MALDITOF test. But compared with the PCR method, and MALDITOF has some advantages. The first, MALDITOF mass spectrometer can identify all 12 species of mucor, but PCR cannot test all, because for PCR it needs specific reagent for different fungi. But for some species of mucor, there are no reagent. And second, for MALDITOF, the cost of test is effective, but for PCR, because it needs specific reagent, so the cost of PCR is not cheap. And the last one is for MALDITOF, the operation is much easier. For mucormycosis, because it is not a new fungi. So in China, some Chinese labs use Kindmay MALDITOF mass spectrometer to test all 12 species of mucor can be identified, because all these 12 species of mucor are already in our database, so our MALDITOF can identify it. So this is a case, identification case for MALDITOF. So just now, I already showed why we need MALDITOF and what the highlight of MALDITOF. And now I will show you an expanded solution. And just now I said that we can not only provide a device, we can also provide the whole complete solution. And this solution, expanded solution named X-Inside system. Kindmay X insight system is a microorganism safety risk prevention and control solution, and it is also researched and developed by Kindmay ourselves. It can be applied in public health, industrial, and public security industry. For public health area like epidemic prevention and control, for public security like bioterrorism prevention. So simply speaking, X insight system is to prevent emerging and sudden infections, disease, animal and plant epidemics, and bioterrorism prevention, etc. As you see here in the left, in the left part, this is X insight system user interface. And this one is a command and control center. And this command and control center can be deployed in CDC. For the function, there are three main points of Kindmay X insight system. For the first point, accurate and fast identification of microorganisms. Now it is based on MALDITOF mass spectrometer. We use MALDITOF mass spectrometer to identify microorganisms. The second point, real-time monitoring of microorganism safety risk. So the decision maker can monitor whole situation and can know what happened in real time for the whole network. And the third point, fast response for emergency, because in case of emergency, so through Kindmay X insight system, decision maker can command and dispatch manpower efficiently to realize fast response to handle the emergency. So this is the overview of X insight system. And this is a network architecture of X insight system. As you see here, include three parts. For the bottom part, it is a data collection layer. We deploy microorganism test instrument like MALDITOF mass spectrometer in the hospital, labs, customs, etc. All these instruments will identify virus, microorganism every day, and all the identification result information will be collected and automatically upload to the data center via 5G network, and then go to the second part. This is the network and the platform layer. Just now, as that microorganism test result information will be uploaded to the data, the data center directly and automatically. This is very important. As you know, 2 years ago, COVID-19 broke out in China. So why COVID-19 is not controlled in the earlier phase? The main reason is the infection information report delay. The information was reported to the decision maker level step by step. So the best time of prevention and control was missed. Finally, the epidemic spread. Yeah. So we can see that information, direct report is very, very important. So for X insight system, all the test result information will be uploaded to the data center direct and automatically. See, direct and automatically. All the test result information through the big data analysis and the data visualization, all the information will display here in the big LED screen of command and control center. So the decision maker sit in the command and control center, monitor the whole network, and will know what happened in real time. So in case of emergency, and the decision maker can command and dispatch the manpower for the emergency handling. So as you see here, from the microorganism identification, monitoring to fast response, Kindmay X Insight System can provide a one-stop solution to help the customer to prevent and to control microorganism safety risk. Now we know that X Insight System can be applied in public health industrial or public security industrial. It can provide microorganism safety risk prevention and control solution for a city, a province, or even a country. So for X Insight System, the target customer is not a hospital or a laboratory. The target customer is like CDC, the National Disaster Management Center, like that. So our target is government. For X Insight System, Insight System, because the whole solution is not small. So as our plan, the project can be promoted in 2 steps. Sorry. Currently, the physical basis of X Insight System is MALDITOF, mass spectrometer, because the microorganism database is very essential for MALDITOF. Kindmay can provide microorganism database to customer, but for different countries, there are some local specific microorganisms. So it's very important to self-build microorganism database by customers themselves. So in the first step, we need to deploy MALDITOF mass spectrometer in different scenarios like hospital, labs, customs, etc. to self-build microorganism database. So this is the first step. And as our experience, after half year to 1 year, we can go to the second step. We will help the customer deploy X Insight System. We will provide the remaining software and hardware, like the system software, system hardware, LED big screen. It is a command and control center. Yeah. Then the X Insight System will connect all the identification instrument like MALDITOF to realize microorganism identification, real-time monitoring, and its emergency response. So this is a deployment proposal for X Insight System. Now let's have a look at the reference case of X Insight System in China. 2 years ago, we helped the CDC of South China to set up a microorganism safety risk monitoring network. And this network covers 5 South China provinces. So you see here, this is a command and control center. And for the whole project, the project value is around $20 million. So this is the case in China. And the last part, we'll make a comparison with our competitors. For bioMérieux, the model is we take mass spectrometer, and for Brook, the model is a biotype mass spectrometer. For these 2 mass spectrometer, almost occupy all the MALDITOF market share. So we choose these 2 MALDITOF for the comparison. Though these 2 mass spectrometers are very famous and very outstanding, but Kindmay MALDITOF still has our own advantages. For bioMérieux, we take, because the hardware was OEM from Shimadzu, and the hardware was released 20 years ago. Yeah. So from 4 experts, I make a comparison here: hardware, software, database, and consumables. So for the hardware, the size of we take mass spectrometer, and you can see the size. Yeah, the size is very big. Yeah. Now, but for us, it is a benchtop design. Yeah, it is a space saving. And for the laser, as we know, the laser and the ion detector, both of them are the key components of MALDITOF. And for Kindmay, our life of the laser and the ion detector is much longer, as you see here. And for the ion deflect technology, and we support. And for the vacuum preparation time, and our is very fast, so they will save the waiting time. And for environment, and because we support our system supports the temperature composition technology, so it can support a wider, you can see here, so it can support a wider ambient temperature. And for the software, and our test is very fast, as you see for bioMérieux, and 1 hour for 100 samples, but for us is only 20 minutes. And for the database, and because for bioMérieux, the database is closed, not open. Yeah, so it is not allowed customer to self-build the database. But for us, we are open, and we can allow the customer to self-build the database by themselves. So it's very useful for the customer. Like for the consumables, and bioMérieux only provide the disposable target plate. But for us, our target plate is reusable. So this is a comparison between bioMérieux and Kindmay. And this is a book, mass spectrometer with Kindmay. Before, so compare with Blue mass spectrometer, Kindmay mass